Pramoto Ghana Mama Mamina Quaba Strong called about UTV Cassia Boponoso, and Nevi and some idea Banedos, Nemo Nidimwakotini any. About it so just say Ghana Mount Penny's Excellency John Dramani Mahama, Accra, Waya, Mamrene, Amanie, Emma, Nipa, Bedi, Treya, Watosum, Unio Besum, Ewo Bank of Ghana no, Wapanaho and Toma. Afe Ghana buying Ghana Central Phone na Bosse, Jumana ye found who did your Tiabiano, Yen Savitini account. We and no Saint Yamia Duma watching that MPP Amanyuku and Penny for their 2 Jaya watchers, a woman see Montana so. Ayo yet no Dennis send ye bay at Temujumano, ye bit me agena for ye de agena honum. And then you and SMP Kawa when I above one I did Baba so more. If you am just so ni Ohinewa, Casse Boa Hene, Africa Bono, and Winchell Mancasa any. Ghana Mount Penny His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Aya Mamreni Amanie Matilda Asante Esiedu Wapanahontoma Esa Wanye Penny Kwancha for Bedi Che or Tosumi Obesom Ewo Bank of Ghana. The media Cassia Kosoa Bankasim and Rada. Na Mount Penny dia 2 just send a one share and to Nyoma ye senya beya. Wamai Ghana Sika Sam to Tia Fapim Ebetimi Ejina Naso.
Mrs. Asante Esiedu, your appointment comes at a defining moment. You're joining a team tasked with not just stabilizing the economy, but transforming our financial sector to serve the Ghanaian people better. Your success will depend not only on your technical acumen, but also on your ability to communicate clearly, lead decisively, and act with integrity. But you're not alone in this task. You will work alongside capable colleagues and with the full support of this administration, which is committed to strengthening the independence and institutional viability of the central bank. Ladies and gentlemen, monetary policy alone cannot secure Ghana's economic recovery. It must be complemented by disciplined fiscal policy. And that is why we're restoring public financial management under the stewardship of Finance Minister Dr. Kaisel Atoforsen. We're improving domestic revenue mobilization. We're streamlining public expenditure and restoring fiscal prudence, not to tick boxes of the IMF, but because sustainable development depends on it. We're also deepening coordination between the Bank of Ghana and the Ministry of Finance. This improved synergy is reflected in our joint work on the forex auctions, reserve accumulation, and liquidity management. And the results are already evident for all to see. But we must stay the course.
Yada so ejine mu sansensem we emu na Penny Kwancha for bedi chire ya boni din wotosomye no obedi ne dwuma ewo Bank of Ghana Matilda Esiedu Asante wono ahyebo akyeremu akyere Ghana Mount Penny Excellency John Dramani Mahama ese de brekese ya wode ahye ne nsem ne tie bia no obeye dwuma den na akukuduro kwan so ensi yese ne beye abotae no ebetimi abemu sa ede ama NDC aban.
To be called to serve at this level at such a crucial moment in our nation's economic history is both an honor and a solemn duty, and I do not take it lightly at all. As the second Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana, I pledge to uphold the highest standards of integrity, transparency, and professionalism. I will work closely with the Governor and the First Deputy Governor, the Board, and the exceptional staff at the Bank of Ghana to strengthen our institutional framework, build a robust and resilient financial system, and consolidate the trust and confidence that Ghanaians have in our financial system. Mr. President, permit me to express my admiration for the Governor, Dr. Johnson Panditisiama, and the Second Deputy, Dr. Zachary Mumuni, for the leadership they have demonstrated so far. Under their stewardship, as you mentioned, the Bank of Ghana, through forward-looking measures, has been able to manage inflation, stabilize the currency, and continue to rebuild investor and public confidence. And I'm truly proud to be joining a team that is firmly focused on enhancing credibility and resilience in our monetary and financial system.
Ebusia ye to akase bono so aye kwa homa no so ye ne national youth organizer de ma MPP amanyoko Yewra Salam Mustafa akwakodin komo nyame ya adoma wo chena da MPP amanyoko na afi parties nkoma bi aka wo ho abom ya wo se montene so aye oye kira anu wodene na wode etia aban ne gina yesie bi a wosi Ghana fo eye mani masam dada yensa ka opani wa homa so nti yekodin komo Yewra akwa abawo okay apomboko de
Nyamiadom oko
yeda nyamia se me pacho nyame ya adom a wo chena demo no eba so ana
yo ewia we bitia for any ahwefo nyina extra demonstration eba so
okay na me pacho okay
2025 any for Bible for edi ehunkomo nie ewo ho ye hihye bibia akoso sene yes no it meets me ekasusudia say extra demonstration dey ebeba so
okay na me pacho mo be sha ase efe he
e be sha ase efi Supreme Court in China honorable the old against Supreme Court if we say no ye the petitions ni no na ye debate juma okay first petition na the court Supreme Court na the common into the first the convergence point you know old opposite the Supreme Court opposite the Supreme Court honorable the friend of Kwame Nkrumah Mausoleum Memorial Park so when the Supreme Court honorable obe say Mausoleum Park bi ewo honorable for that it's not a convergence point na into opposite Supreme Court park kesi bi edaho old Kwame Nkrumah Mausoleum Park keke na be shewo na ye the first
petition
Supreme Court if Supreme Court na ye the another petition na ya fine independence fine so e dia parliament na ye the another petition dia parliament na te ya teni abefa main so Echo Jubilee House the another petition at the command office of the president or Jubilee Park on in Tetina opposite the Supreme Court honoma
breben
was there
more chance breben
it's not there by 5 a.m. na ya shate gada wo hono 5 time I ediato so any 5 a.m. and about 222 if it's not a Monday when seeming tema and shana traffic achil kakra enti ye encourage say obi a be simuntem by 5 a.m. no na ye share ho ye bidie by 3:30 and apana ye wo dada enti wo ba ye bejo fefefe na ya hwe ne edeboabo ye ho e de ejumedina ahahie enti etina by 5 a.m. die na obi a edru ho ana say wonya edru ho po na akakakra na we do ho nti I'm encouraging say it's no be very very early in the morning okay. By 5:30 no in na ensure also that by 6 no e bit me movie share it magina
Yewra mama yensha bambo mun sem senior city
Bible mun asem de bibia akoso ye ni Bible for no ya ye meetings be root ya befa omantia tum various security concerns already you know edi hum kita odie enti Bible sem there like I say we are rest assured
okay
the security is okay no law abiding it touches on the freedom and liberties of Ghana for enti as political parties ye ka ho ema Ghana ebi na mekebi amamo SMP no ye nkofo a ye di maraso we will not misconduct ourselves in such a way edi basabasa eba into etina obia can be rest assured say it is going to be a very peaceful demonstration yen pese obi a obeba obia beba na obeye basabasa because we enya basabasa be conduct in a manner that is civil in conformity to idea ye ko amamo nti etina de Bible asem it can be rest assured, say, the police will be there, and also, I'm sure, more allied security agencies are in occasions like this. Into the beer
but a woman say, will be show, no will be tia, will be say, na Yamia much na, the Mona MPP among your Kony parties, ni be no. But Taya a tired pan in here.
But I actually, it's a say. Again, at this area to demonstration, save the judiciary. We share near also our judiciary one. In fact, it's not just assessing, it's dangerous. If you say, oh my way, mono, yet the mra and the ejuma, and judiciary no, or Ghana constitution, Edinburgh, Edinburgh say, you are the custodians of the law. Only the courts and the rich and the poor. Ni omuobi, any no munity. Ye na attempt to a court and a ye na the court time. Na court ahwehwem na bebia de krewo no e de ato. Na se aban bi ba na one de wo bo me timi po dada se mi ba aban mu no judiciary de mempo masem. Enti me di misa na ko akofore fore ho na ma chimchim nyama because nyomo ho mempo masem. Na ne kredie mu ya to abama mu na omo ba aban mu na omo de aban tumi aban ahonde edia edia show muslim chim judiciary na meaning assessing, and it's very dangerous as well because you take time kwan a omo fa so say omo yi chief justice already know mind you omo chief justice for suspension they say you were acting chief justice anytime you know that it will give a possible one take time next time by Mrs. Babaso or big matter say Speaker of Parliament in Penasem into Mumaya Pet Canada Prime so that you Speaker of Parliament into a idea and non crime money so a best say judiciary no and into now let's save the judiciary say you Danaha Yabakosem military coups debris akoso in fact none of the military coups has ever taken down and bastardized the judiciary in the manner NDC for not even under the regime of Lieutenant General John Rawlings. No military regime.
Yera Mustafa, Yensia de Kakrawa say, Sisia no share Jina Yesia Nasa Anamo Mampeni Wotua was so Jina, Article 146, Clause 6 of the 1992 Constitution. Nano, when you would follow the sequence now, and you found a Mampenia from war.
It is not just about Article 146.
Okay.
You know, and the Constitution said, but there's also common sense. There's also common sense. Remember, the petition of the mouth. This is not the first time it has happened.
Okay.
And Sana Narado Danko Kufado, Obesifon. The petition, sir, as a man, the Chief Justice, and why panel and say, and never be on maintaining a kind petitions. Edema, Council of State and others. What kind of baby? I think with you. It must be anyhow. There are administrative UTV said you despite media more management. ATT managerial decisions are not and the management ATT managerial decisions. Now will be at now what you say. The Bisenia maybe Osekwame SC Erani despite media and then me petition Oga Kasa despite na we Kennedy if you it doesn't make sense.
Mira Mustafa.
Okay. Nana don't pay for the who petitions. You can and so on and so forth. Who said there's no merit no. You took you and no common sense and your law. Nana don't pay Okufado also knew about Article 146. He knew, but the common sense must kick in as well.
Me person me who say o man no ye the common sense na ebu o man na na se demra
baby me see alongside Mrano there's also common sense and that's why me say in fact to one man will say
okay
in fact the same petition dada omodi bread na do dan kufa do no the same petitions the three petitions are almost yenfa and YouTube that is way that's why I'm making a reference to common sense no?
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Article 146 near. But I'm telling you, sir, you can pick a petition and read and say, wait, anything that's so. How do you say we should remove Chief Justice because why a panel now? James said, Chief Justice, and very frivolous accusations. Say on any to crime and so on and so forth. Meaning, President to crime, the entourage. Me, my age, my a buying fee. My age will have been a presidential staffer before. Into meaning that my opinion and my opinion ability to crime, how their entourage looks like. Me who speak of parliament here or to crime sometimes on it, and a court and so on and so forth, or any entourage. Now, other night, Yedi and Intia, every much judiciary said, Chief Justice, Madame Tokonogie, or to crime on it in the Kunu, and the ASM, and the Nakoya. On internal travel arrangement, Emma the Quine said you can travel with a spouse and another person of your choice. Ordinary back, or to Quine, and the ASM. Why the president can travel with an uncountable number of people? I don't think so it's fair. The principle of separation of powers, actually said we have three arms of government: your judiciary, your legislature, and your executive. After the time, be executive, they almost sorry. One person will say, "Oh my God, they actually be." And as a judiciary, you find that you bet me the executive form at any time we like, but they are the custodians of the law. And if we continue this way, we are threatening the democracy. And it will go against it will go against us whether we like it or not. Anything that yes sir or yes sir say Ghana for who say near air cost or no and yet John Dramani Mahama protect him into say offer coin Canada coin be so na court hono or more on true into na or yes but it doesn't need to be. Open judicial reviewer, go to the court and put your application there. You don't need to pack the court with Unkofa Ojin say, more crop into the would be piano because Omaka says, move here, on my too easy, any paying for Madame Mensa or make you also. So, I mean, it is upset.
Okay. You're a Mustafa and Comonia there, but meaning baby, I wouldn't say information from. Say obu yombe 2 EC titneni. Okay.
So okay, we show where they okay pa. We search for there. And if you got on my way no. Before John Executive President John Dramani Mahama back to me. Okay, say they had a problem with the judiciary and Amanga.
Ghana for Beyano.
At the point the Royal Supreme Court almost unidifu for the unanimous FC. President Akasa Okahubi. It's impossible that say judiciary and judiciary nothing. And this is not the first time NDC NDC paying for 2008 the same thing and the judiciary at that time and for the current CAE national chairman or the catcher said there are so many ways to kill a cat. I'm sure we can them.
Sure.
There are so many ways to kill a cat. They have always targeted the judiciary anytime they are NDC opposition. And this time, the last time in 2009, almost tried not Georgina Chodora Wood and the Chief Justice. Almost to me unsucceeding. But this time, Canada they are pushing the same agenda through. And I can say, yeah, man, your information, we understand what they are trying to do.
Okay. Ewe ma na seba NDP amanyo ko no de nkrata pie montene so say demonstration wo mo enka ho sa so na gum kire say wo mo mabi minim say mododo na mo hwe anim so wo beba de mo nasne be ko atia mo a
maybe but just disappointing because meaning said e bi mo NDC a ne ekoso no omani omo party enya adwene. They should be bold enough to come out and let Ghanaians know what they are doing. They don't agree with their own party. It's a matter of principle. Anytime any MPP demo, in case now who MPP colors for. As now you see, be answer red and black. ɛnyɛ MPP Calix ɛna yɛbɛhyɛ akɔ hɔ no mu ɛfiri sɛ yɛ party ahodoɔ ɛna ɛdi saa dwumadie wei na ɛko a yɛko no ɛyɛ Ghanafoɔ deɛ ɛnyɛ MPP foɔ deɛ ana ɛnyɛ political parties foɔ deɛ ɛfiri sɛ wo NDC ni koraa na wonya asɛm a wode bɛkɔ court na sɛ court no yɛ sɛn na wode wasɛm kɔ court na yɛntumi ndi asɛm yi ama wo a you find yourself wanting and your rights and liberties must be trampled upon. And that is why I deal with UTV, it's black and red. Now, if you say a particular group of people, any MPP for the any political parties for the Ghana mind and a mama.
Okay. Ewema ye na say any wadaje nti ye nua be ma ya ye national organizer youth organizer edema MPP amanyoko yewra Salam Mustafa ne call ya the morning tea ye ne ko di nkomo ye pem so e de ni achemu e wonsen fofrom wo so for ya obutu savana mantem saliso bia na wa ya amamrani amane e ma dankra be sensia de wode ahye woni a e be si mampani anemu e wo damango ye no savana mantem wo gina so asye wo musesi an NDC aban sem e ye resetting Ghana agenda one share set salvation kesi no betimi abemu e di ama party no
expected from us as the grassroots, and we are also ready to manage those expectations, and of course with the support of our own colleagues, with support of other nominees, with support of other CEOs, support of other MMDs, especially in Central Gonja. We want to actually tell our president that we are ready to actually work towards the set objectives, and we shall work for the Central Gonja or work for Savannah region, and of course at the end of the day the people of Ghana will never regret for voting massively for the President John Dramani Mahama as the next president, the going and coming back president of the Republic.
Your assemblymen are very important. Remember that the assembly has only 2 effective committees which must take decisions for on behalf of the assembly. The first is the executive committee. Under the executive committee are subcommittees of the executive committee. Decisions at management level ought to be taken by the executive committee, and it is the executive committee that can take decisions on behalf of the assembly and seek for ratification or approval when you meet the main house. The reality is that the main house is the only authorized people to be able to take decisions, and which decisions must be in tandem with the national policy and national directions. Assemblies are a legal entity on their own. You can be sued and you can also sue. Be rest assured that indeed, if you need any legal guidance or any legal advice, please resort to the appropriate authorities and they will give you that one too as well. So on this note, it is my pleasure to officially hand over the duties and responsibilities of all the districts in the Savannah region, except Bole, to the duly approved, freshly minted honorable municipal and district chief executives within here.
Yetwa kasie boy so ye de chemu e we fie kuma ya no e wo atoye mantem amane bo ayensa kan se Narcotics Control Commission mpedifo akoye red bi honom na wo ko ni ne wo hu ye esewoni ensese ye kacho ye kwa amane so ye ne deputy director de Manakok lawyer Chumberima ye ne kodi nkomo lawyer wie ya kwa ba o okay apombo ko de okay obetimi aboya mane kakra ne mo hu ye ewo efie kuma wato emantemo.
No, okay. Yeah, pick different kinds of narcotics. I think cannabis and other kind of narcotics. Yeah, pick different examples. Yeah.
Okay.
They were to put everything together according to the suspects. More details will be given maybe from tomorrow. But what I can say on authority, a lot of cannabis were picked among others. Yeah.
Yadia Brano Brown Becoswayana.
Oh, yeah. To say, much more. All the regions will get their.
Okay.
So, my caution is we are outside the media. We have not permitted anybody to be dealing in narcotics. It's Yamra. And to be around who work cocaine to show or any other narcotics to show. In terms of so we said, man, proof when what I know, well, chance of becoming about.
Okay.
Because the about was not there as of next year of my dear child.
What are mamma quite ready no nipa dodo sign na mutimi eche wo msa so e na mo beye other regions ni bi aka ho ana
any prior pick on Nura you pick about 7 at the go but before the baby party tackle no yeah check it share say be more we don't need them until you drop more but one more you on there you don't want bank I think about 4 at the one back right.
Okay. Ma wo me yese me ma dodo so sen.
Mema me nsa babako.
Na
ye don buy no, but you pick ma no me nsa me ja wo me ja tu. And some other people.
Okay. Na ye bisa say mo de be kwa other regions na.
But certain first group in the other regions.
Aha.
Oh, of course. I mean, we are talking about the entire country, but as we say, origin about India, we work on the intel that we keep getting. The intel, no, the speed the better and the better question agent and the immediate one. Yeah, we've done this for some time since they take you over there. Yeah. The first region I extracted was not Western North region, and then also now around TB, also will be shop or trading red. You don't know. You're complicated in the buy. If I never to. And I tackle the so the key person will be my cohon.
Okay.
Not the intel is that tackle the police in general. Or what we can, your man can acquire copy intelligence. He said it to them. He didn't know someone on Casadia, but he said it to them that on the police they forget it. And it's true. I mean, he has been there, crucial comments and Omo nim yemu binu send my from Takrade Omo for WhatsApp groups using Takrade environments no the comment that all these amount for yet to so and then someone back at say one come here to be said the money just that particular guy and then the man till you back pick you because what you know police for better and he keeps on doing so they needed somebody who can go beyond what they have been experiencing. And some right here, they could find a buyer. You had it. Unfortunately, once you get you, I mean, you face the law.
Lawyer. Okay, but when we are red, no opioids. No, my name say, and what's a motive or more.
And also, maybe when the money came, yeah. But sports, how do I coin now? We found some there.
Okay.
We found some there. I mean, the way I didn't strength of what I didn't need the strength of, but people are happy. Selling this to ordinary Ghanaians. So, Obi Maton Kono say, what do you want to say? Just last week or so. And I said before last week, last weekend, week here, and so I end the and so you're picking the Fadama around the Bacosa. Now you're internal, so I are picking us, and I miracle. Anna, he was afraid he was receiving the money in Jacofa. And you want to buy me interrogated me with simple questions. Oh, ma, what's it? Obama, baby, and was a Debbie. I knew you are the man. So, what about your own person? If you hear on the one say, now we know Zigabudu. I mean, who does that? And you know, what more are you? Well, Yancy will not also because I have a question, but can you say you will be at your desktop in the next second that you wouldn't know? And you know, that was a name that we just had never done. More somebody else, someone back crabby. After quite point to see the Roman anymore. Think and say, be careful because the day will strike you will be your end. So, Minowa and Nina young children, dining neck, nothing beyond Fanasam. Because one night now cost a year. Mantam call woman in farm. As we mamma mantam in the Western of Yako Western region. We will be coming to a region where you don't know. And you wouldn't know when I ever bow so. You wouldn't know our intel officers too. That is one thing. Confidentiality is very high when it comes to Narcotics Control Commission. It will be down. So she wants you never careful the guys had no more. That was when you two for no tia. The two for one tia, but I want to go.
Lawyer, but what woman say, in no way, yana, woman see then the right your system no more.
I want someone to say, I mean, young people who be a potty for the but I mean, because they take you over no one. I'm saying, need to add us with me, and you're a potty and need to add us. I know you're quite with my porters. I almost wear a conny jet, a transaction conny jet, but no clear what woman say. Many of us are we are some container free AC sports, and they say. So if you port see castle, I want my port. Same good yeah. So on when you want your friend saying, my 7 year I put my and now what you couldn't give me one. But we did not pronounce you a woman in the what I say. And everybody say, oh, we are transferring a couldn't get. Now no crap woman is I don't see it. I didn't copy again and again as much as in a coin away. So maybe I believe that all those things, they are skirmishes. Again, Kasa Abi as you couldn't get. You be a back of because you to continue on the money in Quadi. You be football much. Now, you're saying now you be so. We are doing back the other can now shove one. Park and I see Simuno. We are parking what they are trying to make in India. I say India, Kakaka. Now, Kasa, I didn't made in India. India, and why in the year with India? At least the company name must be known. And the papa be out far and before you millionaire that they were on Nestle Ghana Limited, but what?
If I shall sign it here.
Good. No, Nestle Ghana, I tell you, Ghana, you are class, you have it in one and I don't know. Hana, you branded any material or any product. The way the number of bonnie no, you don't possibly win a track. But so I'm not trying to track made in India. India, so said, especially for society, another toy, nobody knows. That tells you what we are doing that we are near bonnet. Wouldn't say bonnet now, so what count the moon time said, Obey a bonnet with said because you would have been I would have do where we already had no idea. But in Germany, be any Narcotics Control Commission that maybe you know yesterday is not the same commission today. This time around, this kind of things, this swoops, this action, this arrest on all kinds of narcotics, from heroin, cannabis, marijuana, name them, nina, cocaine, whatever. Okay, you buy and check where I bed in presence. And I need to do a monsoon yet. If we actually put into a rubber coin intercepted war, your friend is saying, keep coach, nephew, back car, the intercepting will keep push the whole baby. You need to be an intercepting. Now the boss move was $350 million. But see, it's no crown, young woman, we are ready to do an honest job. You got $350 million, but $150 million by the moment and working. But still, we went ahead to arrest without taking any money from anybody. And yet, that's one more woman. So, you could be a bit kind, and I said, be kind. Oh, you do my dear, and you're back. The mere say, you be any. To be obedient for Biera. More approved route settlement, yea. I say no, one for unapproved route. Officer, what you offer, how be better. Be careful because now we have spread or we are spreading our men across board. When we intercept you, you are going to face the law squarely. The court can say, upon see a with A, B, C, D, and I found good year. And the court in the answer. The court and can answer the only man of the conscience.
Lawyer Yema Yanase Newadaji. Lawyer Chumberi Mawono, a deputy director, Edmana Cognia Koya, and in a coding Comofania Coso, a Fiakuma number 9, I say Nessa, but a tardy horsem, and you wish I did today. I pimso, Edian Yachemu, a one sent from ye Piemo, a wetifia poye mountain bocon some ya trinity, a man of Frawania Sabe, a did them na brano brano, who can ye papa, and I'm so Emma Women Mediators Network Ghana, as say and penny for say, bocon some now one wood in one shall say when you become ma, more friendly pass said womo edidem na dwumedie na senipa wakasa ye hajia alima to sajitu won wakasa chirechire mu se ne yekoso oboko ne ha adwene papa UTV kase bone maybe edin command some say and what they are training.
We unreservedly condemn the violence being perpetrated by both sides, the Mampusis and the Kusasis of the conflict area. that is unleashing destruction of properties and untold hardship on the people of Boko, especially on women and children. This press conference is particularly in response to the calls of the women of Boko for help and for peace. Escalation of violence in Boko since last year has placed women and children at a significant risk. They are at risk of being displaced, exposed to sexual and gender-based violence, losing their livelihoods, and experiencing limited access to essential services such as healthcare, education for their children, as well as more of what they need to exist. Oneness strongly calls on leaders to ensure the full, equal, and meaningful participation of women in all peace processes related to the Boko conflict. Women must be included in conflict resolution discussions, decision-making structures, and reconciliation efforts to ensure solutions are inclusive and sustainable. Their involvement will bring diverse perspectives and foster trust within the communities. Scientific research has proven that negotiated peace is 20% more sustainable when women are involved in the mediation and negotiation processes.
This is not about two political parties, it's about everyone. If people of Boko now start moving towards us, what do you think would happen? And in fact, they are in our midst. It's just so these days we've been hearing threats here and there about other tribes as well. So we don't want it to escalate. And we are happy that the mediation is starting. We are encouraging everyone, whether you are a political party or traditional leader or whoever you are, please let's all voice out. It is important at this time, and we also hope that they will fast track the process.
Look at the situation now. The story is very devastating. If women can no longer go to market, which is their livelihood source, then what happens to them and their children? And we have endure these undue consequences that is befalling on them. And that is why today, as women's rights organizations, as youth representatives, as people who are also very mindful and critical about the dignity of all underserved people, are also adding our voice to our women in mediators.
Or it is mainly strangers or visitors who even develop a place. But now, Boko is left alone. Or nobody is even ready to go to Boko. When you are being posted to Boko, if you have the power, you resist because you don't want trouble. And it is good that we sit down and reflect on these things so that together we look at a lasting solution to this Boko conflict.
Yet to Akasiaboy as so. Ghana Mount Penny His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Gusuya Wobo Din Sanya Beya, any panabet Miakosina, Nemo Mensin Krutua Hodo aso. Na do any chemo ewo Kentampo South Mensimua, Yakwa Kotua Bama Nipa ye no with Jena Swakasa, ya watchers and Paninisha Papa, Sabra Penny Warrior CCC na Nakono, wo ye wano. Nasema wade to Jansanya Mia ya Duma di Brekese in Sakano, Wabesha say Ediane home quiet dene, ewo Kentampo South Abato Empesiaso. And some pina can one watch it.
Your fair young papa, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. The fair about was say he wants to reset Ghana. And he said, warrior reset in there. It has to go with all the departments, any ministries here, Ghana. And he may Kentampo South. Mr. Manisi wadi hunu pa ne say, I want to promote good governance, accountability, and transparency. Say, ye pese ye reset, ewa Kentampo South wa. I was say ye open. to the populace no who say adwuma say and assembly no Kindampo South one of the district here you produce enuane e de support to Ghana economy. Talk of maize your bayre green pepper, cashew is in abundance. Mango dear yanka wasem. Your bad vegetables are amount for tomatoes. Ewa hapa amount for domoko. You can talk of all. Naminia say a do harvest now over 50 or 40% of this produce no nyina eco waste. And the first thing has to do with say you need access road. And to me say me that no say I want to promote good governance. And to say areas no kwan ben so na ebe fa. Omo aduano no ebetima abakuro. Me ba hu say na me lie ten. Dodo na company say omo na ntwie na num nsu enne. Esan say you will boreholes for some of the communities, but sometimes no borehole no esan pressure e was continue. So okokra na actually 3 days na borehole na san say esan say pressure was so. Enti na o say ye two boreholes for this time assembly no focus be mechanization of boreholes eno na ya dia ebeche ediama your communities.
Yapem so yede ani chemu ewo kre abato ampesia so NDC amanyoko party man wode atodwa watch say they no happy too much ombuefu Ghana mampani His Excellency John Dramani Mahama boni amampani wedi nyina ne say wo bo nipa wo ba besi na nemu din no yewura William Kofia itedin wono na wode wani chemu abato ampesia so a wo ye dwamtenani edema NDC amanyoko ni din na mampani koboye na no na mebo ne kire say da bi wedie wo mu ntimi nsomu da wo mu nyini ntum kwan bias wo musre mampani wo mu ma na woche ba ko se wanse sana dwene a wo mbesi amontene so wo ye kira emu apie en wo be ye tia NDC aban.
John Dramani Mahama chow se Kofia ite yempeno Kofia ite yempeno Kofia ite yempeno yenti a yempeno no ene se Ebra ye campaign no wan ye campaign wan ko campaign mi amija hayi ni kurom ye ko ye campaign 3 days Kofia ite ye hu no wama oni some of the executive omunyina omamba nti ye besre ye nimu so say since Fujitobe time up around the time nyina wa obeba be DPC na wan wini a ye de DCU no den amount ono ene da ho oninti na judge opare ado emra wanya no a wanya mpi no emani DC 8 good years enne adu yenua owredu eso yesre John Dramani Mahama say ye pani cho bebre onfa owredu den emra afeni edu ho onabo asiedin katia obehye ye bo wa ha te se nia yenua no aka no se ma vote no ekwanim kakra bia ono beba be ye DC so wanwini a obeba be ye DC yesre asiedu nkatia se gabo no wa krosu enti esese odi DC ma nyina ya ni yeden ya ni gen
ebra ye ba beto aba a ye hia oberema kukuduofo a ode nanim ebeba okre na one ye papa John Dramani Mahama abedi akono ye nya oberema biara kopemu se ye papa ye ba ye dehye ya de nyina Prince Henry animu redu a ebo na ebo ne mrane se oye Fujitobe a wasan ababio na adenti na ewo se NDC eyi eye DCE na MPP fo mom na agi omani abasa asem ewo ho a ewo se empanifo esuma anase empanifo etie yen okre youth yenumu asem adenti na ye campaign na ye ko baabi a parliamentary candidate etu kwan a chairman ene ne nkrofo obia ni nachi agi se regional executives anase national executives bi ba ha say ansa na obehu se chairman ne nkrofo aba campaign na se a ni ehu se ni odi okun nanimu a okokon no ewo se ye didi nso a ye kai no na ono nso edidi bi
because ni nyuma pa ne nanum kasa a ode ma mahama nso ba dawa obekasa kire yen na di gina so enti ne to abama enti se na se DC ewredu anya dia ena enyina ya MPP for yebesa akwa back to MPP
ye gina we so ne anum so ye ba nsam aka enedoso Yasama munyina kwaba biom ediba ye kase bo pono so yapem so ede ani akyeremu awonsan fofromo pani kwankyerefo ya wada fire service no wepoye mantam ye Timothy osafo efum no wo kase wo kyerɛ sɛ wo mu fidie ya wode ye adwuma no akyɛ dodo wo besrɛ mpanifo sɛ wonkɔ wo mu amoa wase wo mai Ghana mu ba ne sɛ asɛm biese na afei ye pɛ wone ebɛbɔ amane ade a na ye nsɛnkyerɛfo ba ne sɛ gyato bebi so a ya na fire mpanifo ne yeto nsade afromo nanso wo hwɛ fire tenders ni bia nyini pa bia nyini ese metu sala afi nsuo kro de bedi dwuma no wose ayedene ade amomo enti wadie wosrɛ mpanifo sɛ wo mu ahiamoa
metu omanfo fo sɛ region hade niama esisi a yeta etumi ka koye ho adwuma eye accident unum sɛ kwantempon a efi enkran ekokuma sɛ ko tamale no region ha nenam enti accident no aya edoso ha mebo omanfo kokose se wonam kwanu ma se kwanu ba bi wo ho a enye papa enti obi anya ahweye entonobo eye se obekwa kodu no wa ye late since unkodu na wode asama bafie enti yenya ahweye enu achi no eja etasisi no aye afiafim eno na ekọ nanim enti ye besre se yenya ahweye ewo fie nso pan bebre no wo behwe na bia kanea adum na ukọ na wo refi ho ebia waso ayon waja osiso waso fan waso radio waso tv enti anyinam kanea no besan ba no na de ahoden a ebroso na eba saa nyama semfom so kakra wo ho pa obon se wo machine no na eja atom enti e besre bebre se wo fie wo ni fie once like anyinam kanea no ebedum no bo modern say wo equipment bia no wo bedundum no wayi plugs na fim se na be na se anyinam kanea no asamba na ahoden ebros na de baya entimi fa atoye nchen bia emfa emeto yen nyame pese me de betwa to ne se sesei wo behwa fibia mu ade a de no aduan ye gas empan bebre na ya na gas no ye nim sania ye be kura no ye enti ye modern se se wo kofele wo gas no station a se eye free na wo disimu no eye ade a obetimi ama wo cylinder na gina ho a ma ne nyina ho na fa brafie wo de bedu fie nso a bo modern se wo de cylinder no be so kakra be se minute num na sana se wo de be yade a wo de ayade efi se wo hwa gas na ye de agutu anim no ya chechire no ye de na hye ho nti kwanka kra bi obenya no wo de ahoden bepue enu nti na wo se ye ma ne si ho ye ba ne si ho sa na ne ho adwo na emfa ahoden enye kitikiti bia nti yenye ahweye
Bible say yento ya bodo nungu nsweni ni dachi bi yensa bekanti Ultimate Charismatic Center mpenifo ya mamrene amania community clinic omobie ewo domi pillar 2 na mpenifo dia todwa ya watch say wo manfo ya wo mo ba se na ebe ya ye betimi ahwe wo mapomode ho nsem nyina wo senya ade a ye je wo mo hwe
ina asori da ye wo mu no nyamia mendiefo bebre ye wo doctors akodo bebre wo asori enti ye nyame de to makoma so as a leader of assurance say yembo yina professionals or by your lawyers your accountant enti obia feel that professional bia obia no o ma yekuku a ye bibi eboa community no any assurance no enti be bi egine doctors and nurses midwife lab technicians e wa assurance eni nyame adom ya betu yakoma so say yensi ayaresa bia we yemfa nsom assurance ma any community ni enti ene nyame adom so wo hwede akoso a ene the official commission a year the Ultimate Community Clinic obi baha a free a community until you have been engaging the community because you know mo edidi your yonkofa eda intem so baha ye tai emaduane wo community nim ye frɛ wo mo ye no mo tenase na edi nkomo na nipa biblo community so e ba so rent so ma ha ye to nsa fro so bra
wo ho a e wo setem bia wo ma wapomudin sem ho hia na bibi ekoso wo redie mu a obehwe se entoyie ana enkoyie no obehwehwe your nearest health facility se na ye wo ha no oba yen run some we will advise you, like I said earlier on diet and physical education. And bibia ubeye was say a bow who by a boama udi pedriani sipping. Yes, so you will high bear which
one moment they be criticize your son. Yes, yeah, near my past or in a year. Nam camp because I said we are fan of Fifra, no, the bar. I'm sorry, I can't say a holistic. Fam, unam fam, adwinim, nsusuem, any work plans, any edit, sorry. But you have 5-4 ministry at the sorry. So be a real Obi Hunches and I have one, a young for school. You have one in Pabby by a young cocky and a bunting. You have for school, go for prophet, go for medical school, micro bomb, coach, and they were any eka. And just a moon tibia, Munsunuria, and I have work community no.
Ye jina afomodi nkomo isu na kasiawa ye boaboa no wosemufo jina ntenten wosemo esetete abayiwa nkwan ha se ne ye DC dia meje so ene ohene wa kese ebo ahene tim ni nyina ye damase nyame ya adoma dwumedi aka nyina no eto so e dia mamo ye de mosi